What if you discovered that you're not a victim of your life, but its author? Not just a product of your circumstances, but the architect of your responses to them? That's not just wishful thinking. It's the essence of habit 1. Be proactive. Stephen Covey writes, "Proactivity means more than taking initiative. It means that as human beings, we are responsible for our own lives. To be proactive is to recognize that your life is a result of your decisions, not your conditions. It's understanding that between stimulus and response, there's a space, and in that space lies your freedom to choose. Our behavior is a function of our decisions, not our conditions. This is the ultimate form of human freedom. No matter what happens to us, we choose our response. Reactive people allow their environment, moods, or other people to control them. If the weather is bad, they're in a bad mood. If someone criticizes them, they snap. If life gets hard, they collapse emotionally or blame others. Covey says, reactive people are driven by feelings, by circumstances, by conditions, by their environment. Proactive people, on the other hand, are driven by values. They act based on what matters, not based on how they feel in the moment. It's not what happens to us, but our response to what happens that hurts us. This simple idea changes everything. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Your words reveal your mindset. Reactive language. I can't do anything. That's just how I am. He makes me so angry. Proactive language. I choose to. I prefer. Let's find a solution. The language of reactive people absolves them of responsibility. By changing your language, you change your thinking. By changing your thinking, you change your choices. And your choices, they change your life. Covey introduces an empowering idea borrowed from Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist. Between stimulus and response, man has the freedom to choose. Frankl was tortured, starved, dehumanized, yet he realized that no one could take away his internal freedom. Even in the worst circumstances, he chose how to see himself, how to treat others, and what kind of man he wanted to be. If Frankl could do this in a concentration camp, what excuse do we have? Covey teaches us to divide our attention into 2 circles. Circle of concern, everything you care about but cannot control. Economy, politics, wars, others' behavior. Circle of influence, things you can control. Your actions, thoughts, habits, and choices. Reactive people obsess over their circle of concern. They worry, complain, and wait for others to change. Proactive people focus on their circle of influence, and because they invest in what they control, their influence grows. Let's say your boss is constantly critical. Reactive mindset. My boss is toxic. I can't take this anymore. Proactive mindset. My boss is tough, but I choose how I respond. I can manage my reactions, set boundaries, or start exploring other opportunities. It's not about being passive or accepting poor behavior. It's about not giving away your power to someone else's attitude. Your partner forgets your anniversary. Reactive. You clearly don't care about me. Proactive. This hurt me, but I want to understand what happened and talk. Covey reminds us, proactive people can subordinate an impulse to a value. They pause, reflect, then respond. Let's break down the word responsibility. It's the ability to respond. You can't always control what happens, but you can always choose your response. Highly proactive people recognize that responsibility. They do not blame circumstances, conditions, or conditioning for their behavior. This is why habit 1 comes first, because if you don't believe you have the power to choose, then the other 6 habits won't work. Until a person can say deeply and honestly, I am what I am today because of the choices I made yesterday, that person cannot say, I choose otherwise. Your life is not an accident. It's a series of decisions, and today you can start making new ones. When I first read this habit, I realized how often I was blaming things outside of me. My background, my energy, other people's behavior, even luck. But once I truly owned everything, my mindset, reactions, tone, priorities, I started to change. And with that, my results changed too. For 24 hours, monitor how often you use reactive language, write it down. Then challenge yourself to rephrase it in a proactive way. I have to do this. I'm choosing to do this because it aligns with my goals. They won't let me. I haven't yet figured out how to influence them. Language is a mirror of mindset. Rewire it. Each evening, ask yourself, 1. Where today did I react emotionally instead of intentionally? 2. What would a proactive version of me have done differently? 3. How can I practice that tomorrow? Small daily awareness builds unshakable character. List 3 worries you currently have. Then ask, what is within my control right now? Act only in that space, even if it's small. Action creates momentum. Momentum expands influence. Influence reshapes your world. Let's lock this in. Be proactive means you're not your feelings, you are your decisions. Between stimulus and response lies your greatest power, choice. Reactive people give up control. Proactive people take it back. Your language reflects your freedom. Focus on what you control. Ownership is where all growth begins. Proactive people are still influenced by external stimuli, whether physical, social, or psychological. But their response to the stimuli, conscious or unconscious, is a value-based choice or response. This is your superpower. You were born with it. You just have to use it. And once you start choosing intentionally, you start building a life on purpose, not default. This is the foundation. This is habit 1. And this is where transformation begins.